Welcome back to the channel. My name is Angelo Christmas, and this is me documenting my journey to $20,000 per month as a remote closer. So, in today's video, I'm actually going to be sharing 3 tips that have helped me crush all my high ticket sales interviews and give me the best possible chances of getting hired. So, first things first, number one is your setup and your environment. So, always make sure that your background is nice and clean and you don't have anything embarrassing or unprofessional behind you. Make sure it's nice and clean. Like I have a white background. If you can, make sure your desk is like facing a wall, especially if you have like a messy room or whatever the case may be. You don't want your like underwear showing behind you or someone walking in the room while you have an interview. It must be a nice, clear, and clean background as well. Second thing is audio. Make sure you have good audio. Remember, in sales, you're constantly speaking to people on a daily basis. That's what you're doing whenever you are working. So your audio needs to be good. Doesn't have to be the best. You don't have to invest into expensive equipment, but make sure that your audio quality is good and it's clear. The second thing is lighting. This is a small one, but it can make a big difference as well. So if you look here, it's a bit dark when I don't have my light on, but when I do put my light on, it's nice and bright, and the interviewer can see my sexy face nice and clear. But yeah, invest in a ring light, just put it behind your computer or your setup, and then it's going to make a huge difference. Even if your camera is not that great, the lighting alone will be a huge help. Now, the next thing is obviously your camera. I would recommend if your computer camera is a bit blurry or sketchy, invest into buying a cheap camera that you can just set up on your computer. It will help, especially if you're going to be taking Zoom calls, like if you're interviewing for a closer position, because understand that your camera is basically, if you're speaking to prospects, they're going to be looking at you at the screen. If your camera is like really bad quality, it's not going to be a good look for you as a closer, and also uh, subconsciously as well as getting the sale. Little things like that can have a huge impact on how you perform and how the interviewer sees you and judges you as well. Last thing is appearance. So make sure you're nice and neat. Wear a good shirt. Make sure your hair is neat. Make sure you don't have any boogers in your nose. Just make sure you're looking presentable. Because remember, when you're on an interview, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself, how you look goes a long way, because that's how the interviewer is going to perceive you to act and look whenever you're speaking to clients. So make sure you look your best, you look smart, you look neat, and you're presentable as well. The second big tip that I want to share is, so wherever you can fit this in during the interview, make sure you do, because it's going to be extremely helpful for why the interviewer would consider hiring you, especially if you might not have a lot of experience. So, first one is work ethic. Make sure you let them know, or even better, give them an example of why, as proof that you have a strong work ethic. Second thing, your desire to succeed. Make sure that's also blatantly clear that you're a winner. You're destined to succeed, and you're going to succeed no matter what. You're competitive, and more importantly, you're coachable. So those are traits that any business owner would love to see in a sales rep. Because if you adopt those traits and you have those traits, it's very hard for you not to win in your role. Even if you don't have them, just mention that, and then it's obviously up to you to start adopting those traits and living by those traits once you do actually get hired. So, for example, a lot of people have this idea that if you don't have experience, you can't get hired with high ticket sales for a position, which isn't always true. I mean, I'm an example of that. Obviously, you need experience. You don't need experience to start, because otherwise, how are you going to get experience if you don't ever start? It's just a bit trickier getting that first position if you don't have the experience. But if you mention that you have these traits, and for example, let's say you don't have experience, and in my case, I used to work as a customer service agent for Amazon. Now, I remember saying something like this on my interviews. I said, like, address the elephant in the room as well. Don't just say you have a good work ethic, burning desire to succeed, competitive and coachable. Make it make sense. So, for example, in my case, I would say something like, now, while I understand I don't have experience with high ticket sales, in my previous role, I worked as a customer service agent from home, and it was my duty to speak to clients that are from the USA, especially if I'm applying for a USA role. And that allowed me to not only sharpen my communication skills, but also develop extremely well rapport with clients. So while I understand that I might not have the experience you're looking for, I know that with the experience I have developed, along with my work ethic, my unmatched work ethic, my desire to succeed, my competitive nature, and how coachable I am, I know that I would be a valuable asset to the team. And it's just a matter of getting those reps in, and then I'll be off to the races at that point. And I guarantee you will not regret hiring me. So that's how you gotta speak. Even if you don't have results, you gotta be confident. You gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta, you know, that's going to go into my next point, so I'll expand on that there. So the third point is getting rid of limiting beliefs about yourself or about what you're capable of, no matter what the case is. But just get rid of any limiting beliefs you have around high ticket sales, making money online. A few common ones you might run into when you're applying for positions and you're getting on interviews is that they might not hire me because of how I speak, or because of my accent, or where I'm located, or how I look, or my age, or my gender. All these things don't matter. And that's what you gotta believe before the interview. Because if you have these thoughts and limiting beliefs going on to the interview, you won't be as confident. You won't speak with that, oomph that you need to show them that you have conviction and confidence in yourself. All you need to remember is that no matter where you're from, how you speak, what experience you have, all that essentially doesn't matter. The only thing the interviewer cares about is if you can generate results. So if you give that message across to them, even if you don't have the experience, even if you don't have a good accent, as long as you have them, you close them on the idea that you can generate results, they will hire you. And how you do that is just by believing in yourself, having complete confidence and conviction that you can actually deliver. So when you adopt this mindset and you adopt this belief that you can make it work, you believe in yourself, you are the man that can become the best at this company. That's gonna show as you speak to them. Whenever you answer a question, they're gonna feel that energy. But if you don't believe these things, if you believe that, oh, they won't hire me, I'm too young, they won't hire me because I'm currently working at another job, or that, you're answering the questions from a place of uncertainty. They're going to notice that. And it's little things like this that will make them think, damn, I need to hire this guy. At least give him a shot. Because if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect them to believe that you can help other people make scary decisions that they might not be ready to make? Because you need to first believe in yourself and have conviction in yourself to then pour that into the prospects you're speaking with, and essentially helping them get to the outcomes they want in life. So believing in yourself is a huge, huge element to achieving success, not just on interviews, but in anything in life. And I want to take you back to one of the proudest moments I've had in my sales career, uh, even in my life, to be honest. It was in my previous role. I hopped on an interview. It was for an appointment setter position. And basically, at the time of the interview, I didn't have much experience, and I didn't have the same experience they were looking for that position. One, I didn't let that stop me from applying, because that's another thing. I believed in myself. I knew that even though might not meet the requirements for that position, I'm still going to apply either way. Because I know I can. I believe in myself enough to know that I can give it my all and I can make it work. And I ended up having an interview. Anyways, it was a group interview. So if you're not familiar, it is very common in the high ticket sales space where you'll have group interviews with multiple people that are also applying for the position on the same call with you over Zoom. Now, we got to a point where, you know, they went through each person one by one to basically tell them a little bit about ourselves, our experience, why we feel we'll be a good fit, all that good stuff. And the person before me went, and for whatever reason they didn't hire him, and they simply told him, look, I appreciate your time for being here, but unfortunately you don't meet the requirements you are expecting for this role. So can you please kindly leave the call? And he said, okay, he understood, and he left the call. So just like that, he was out. You know, I was next. I went. I told him the reasons of why they should hire me, my experience, all that good stuff, and they basically did the same thing to me. They said, "Look, uh, sounds like you a good guy, whatever the case may be, but unfortunately, based on your experience and X, Y, Z, we're not actually interested in hiring you right now." And then they asked me to kind of leave the call. Now, in that moment, most people, 90% of people, I would say, would have just said, okay, thank you for your time, left the call. But because I followed the third step that I recommended to you guys, I got rid of all limiting beliefs about myself and my capabilities. And because I believe in myself and have ultimate confidence that I can deliver, I didn't just accept that. In front of other people on the interview, I told the interviewer, um, if you don't mind, I'd like to challenge you on that for a moment. In the interview, I'm saying this in front of other people. And I said it in a nice way. And he was like, okay, sure. And I basically overcame his objection on why he needs to hire me. And I closed him on hiring me. I basically, his objection was, I don't have the experience they're looking for, in terms of how much experience and also the type of experience. It wasn't matching what they wanted. So I basically gave him my overcome and my rebuttal and closed him on why he should hire me. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I basically acknowledged it. I said, look, I understand that I don't have the experience you are looking for, but what I will tell you is that with the kind of person I am, the work ethic I have, and my desire to succeed, there's no one else that can work as hard as me in this company. And I guarantee you that if I do come in here, I'll outperform everybody and become the best setter on the team because that's my goal. And I assure you that you will not regret hiring me, and it will be the best decision you will ever make today. Something along those lines is what I said. Now, you need big balls to do that. You need to believe in yourself. No one that doesn't believe in themselves and doesn't have confidence would have the courage to say something like that on a group interview after being rejected and asking to leave the call. Long story short, the interviewer even said, wow, I haven't had that happen to me before. And he was impressed with my overcome. And he said, look, we're willing to give you a shot. And he hired me. So that's just a simple example of how following these steps can help you tremendously on your sales journey in terms of mastering interviews, nailing interviews, and getting hired. And if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have got to the point where, just for the record, I did become the top setter at that company. And I also made the most money so far in my sales journey, which was $3,500 in a month. And I became the top setter as well with the most attended calls on the calendar, which was a huge achievement for me. But all that would never have happened if I didn't have the courage, the conviction, and confidence in myself to actually stand up for myself and help the interviewer see, look, I understand you may view things right now this way, but allow me to give you a chance to show you why you should hire me, and I guarantee you won't regret it. And he didn't regret it, because I did extremely well for that company. So hope that was helpful for you. Another bonus tip I have for you guys or anyone watching this is to always remember that on interviews, it's not actually an interview, it's a sales call. It's your job to close the interviewer on why they should hire you. And if they don't hire you, it's because of something you didn't do right, you didn't say right, you didn't do a good enough job to sell them on the idea why they should hire you. That's always the approach and mental model you need to adapt, because if you adapt that mindset and those beliefs, it's going to force you to do the best you can to ensure you get hired. And at the end of the day, just like in a sales role, you're never going to close everyone. You're never going to book every appointment. You're never going to close every deal out there. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. And you don't need to close everybody to make money with sales. Meaning that out of 10 calls, you might only close 3 or 4 people. And that's okay. It's the same with interviews. Even if you don't get hired or you don't get the position, that's fine. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it knock you down. Just keep persevering, keep pushing through, and know that sooner or later you will get the position. It's a numbers game. Don't look at one interview and think, oh, I'm not good enough. This isn't going to work for me. That I need experience. I need this. I need that. XYZ. No, it's a numbers game. All you need to do is focus on putting in the work. If you don't get the position, you keep moving. Keep it moving. Apply for another. Take the next one. You don't get it, feedback. Understand what went wrong. Understand the questions that you were asked and how you asked them. Did they hear what they would have wanted to hear from a person they felt could deliver results? If not, use that as feedback moving into your next interview. So treat it as a numbers game, because at the end of the day, that's all it is. You can't actually control whether they hire you or not. The only thing you can control is how good you perform on the interview. And the better you perform, the better you convey to them that you are the man for the job, the more likely your chances of getting hired. So hope that was helpful for anyone watching this. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments and drop a like if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next week with another video. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Cheers.